What is something most people need to hear but no one has the guts to tell people? Some people aren't fit to be parents. Just started working at a daycare a couple weeks ago and yeah, it's really heartbreaking watching shitty parents ruin a good kid. What kinds of things have you seen? Not up, but I mean you've probably seen it too, if you've ever been around kids. Just a complete and utter lack of planning for the kid's future, doing bare fucking minimum for them at best, and being abusive at worst. A lot of people have kids because it's expected in society or they just made a mistake, and have no interest in actually parenting, so the kid is generally loved and its needs are taken care of, but that's about where the involvement ends. The parents don't want to be actively involved in raising and teaching and making their kids grow into good people because they just aren't meant to be parents. Not everyone wants to be your friend. Nice does not mean loyalty. This goes double for co-workers. Best way I heard this was, you could be the juiciest peach ever created, but some people just don't like peaches. I have never heard this before, but that honestly is the best way to describe it. Being an asshole isn't quirky. Haha, I'm such a bitch lol. My stepsister has covered every vehicle she has ever owned in bitch bumper stickers. While they are accurate, she is too ignorant to understand that being a bitch is not an endearing quality. I can see your butt crack when you sit down or stand up. Obligatory link. Yep, I just looked at a bunch of dudes' butt cracks again. Thanks for that. Chew with your mouth closed. It's considered rude to say this to someone, but they really need to hear it. I'd want someone to tell me. Chew with your mouth closed. Rude. But necessary. Shut up and let people finish their sentences. Stop interrupting. There is only one occasion it's okay to interrupt someone. And that's when that someone is a conversation dominator who literally will not stop the flow of words from their mouth to let anyone else participate. Especially when in a group setting. I have a friend who does this, and if we don't interrupt her then it becomes a never-ending reel of just her voice all night, and she expects everyone to listen. Yeah, no thanks, I may cut you off right there and see how everyone else is doing. I once went to a friend's party in another state with my boyfriend, and gave a ride to a pal that lived nearby who was going. She talked the entire time, 2-hour drive, both ways, and went into some pretty personal details about things her family members have been going through, surrogates, family problems, etc. My boyfriend was going to go crazy. The one time he and I had a conversation because she had to text someone back, she cut us off and joined in with a different topic. We were talking about adopting pets and she started talking about adopting children. Once we dropped her off and said our goodbyes, we both just sat in silence for a few minutes just to remember what it felt like. If you want to be good at something, you can't just like it. You have to want to put effort into it. If you aren't, don't waste your time. Nah, medical school is too hard. I'm just gonna start doing surgeries in my basement. I get to play with so many cool tools. This man is going places. Probably prison, but still places. If we're standing in line at the post office and you absolutely must listen to a video on your phone, please put on headphones. No one else wants to listen to your political talk show or Jim Rome's hot take on the Browns' offensive play calls. Seriously. How did anyone come to think it's okay to have your phone making noise in a public setting? I hear guys watching videos on the can at work. I had a guy playing some stupid coaching game in the doctor's office waiting room. WTF? No. Some people are socially anxious and can be extremely compliant. Saying no won't hurt someone's feelings most of the time. The guy at the sandwich shop I went to asked me if I would get an Uber, from my account, for his friend who looked like he was from the hills have eyes. I said no and the fucker didn't put the peppers on my sandwich. I'll tell you as soon as you finish making my sandwich. You really should not have kids. Related, I really don't think you should marry that person. One of my best friends is engaged to an idiot. The idea of her raising kids is terrifying. Your MLM is just a thinly disguised pyramid scheme and it will never make you rich, and you're an idiot for falling for it. You are in no way a small business owner. Not for most people, but the people who need to hear it need to hear it. I've even told this directly to my cousin and she just doubles down. She believes pseudoscience crap too. Ask her how much profit she's made, and when she expects to pay off her initial investment. If it's not a scam, she shouldn't be in the red, right? It's also something where she probably doesn't have an answer prepared or burned into her head by the head Ponzi. Great idea, thanks. I'll probably see her at Christmas. Nothing like MLM chats over that hearth. That they have disgusting breath. I've learned to really appreciate people who tell me this, or something like me having something stuck in my teeth. Assuming they don't make a scene of it, they are essentially saving me from further embarrassment. I don't love you anymore. Seriously, if that's true, tell the person and don't string them along for years in a sham of a relationship just because you don't have the guts to tell the truth. Always be doing exactly what you want with the person you want to be with. Had this happened to me? He told me he hadn't loved me for the last 2 years. Pretty much instantly figured out where all my anxiety had come from. I knew, but I thought that if I just did enough for him that he'd love me again. It took a lot of therapy to get over that anxiety. Every selfish act you do is affecting another person, or another living thing, in a negative way. You cut in line, you leave a shopping cart in the parking space, you littler makes another person's life just that much harder. As my mom has gotten older, she's gotten lazier about this sort of thing. Leaves carts wherever at the grocery store, doesn't put items back, etc. out in public. I call her out on it, and she doesn't really have an excuse. I told her she raised me to be better, so I'll hold her to the same standard. Shit's lame, yo. Be rigorous in your consideration of others. I told her she raised me to be better, so I'll hold her to the same standard. I love that, no real comeback. It's okay to struggle with your mental health, but it's important that you get help for it in whatever way is best for you. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. You listened to last podcast on the left? One of the hosts has bipolar disorder and he mentioned this quote and it really stuck with me. Hail yourself. The video you're showing me isn't funny. I would never say it, but God, I hate fake laughing for 4 minutes. Oh, that one, I saw that one. Gets me out of it every time. I would use this, but it's risky BC, they might start talking to you about it. Did you see the part where fakes heart attack? You need to bathe regularly and brush your teeth, please. Bad breath is so common. I don't care if your breath smells like onion or garlic, but can't stand that fermented morning breath thing some people nurse through the day. Fun fact. It's not always oral hygiene causing that. Some PPL have stank coming up from their gut, and some PPL have drainage at night that sits in their throat that coats the back of the mouth/throat with nastiness. Someone can get compliments from their dentist but still have bad breath. How do you fix the bad breath though? Stop breathing. That helps in the short term, but I feel like the smell will get worse as decomposition kicks in. Tell everyone to stop breathing. If humanity decomposes but no one is around, do we make a smell?